Taboo the Better Man. Diogenes, I have never ever had somebody make a song inspired by one of my books, Taboo the Lost Codes of Man. Tell me about it.
Tell you, you started with the project many years ago. I thought it was a great project, and it's taken a long time, and you've worked your butt off getting this incredible book together. And I was just so impressed and inspired by you, Martin. I got to tell you, man, I just had to put some lyrics to this thing because everything that's written in that book is so true, and everyone should read that, men and women alike. And I'll tell you, the world would be a better place if people really kind of just took a glance at that and really took that to heart, because there's a lot of things that I think are going on in our culture, and you pinpointed them, man. You struck a nerve.
Yes, and I want to give credit. You came up with the basic idea of the cover. You had a background in design and you just said you need something that'll catch their eye as your next book because I talked about the idea. And when you came up with, I went, I love this so much. Can we make it work with the ideas? And I just stood in that space of let's keep going with it and get
Mhm.
the content done. And then the people that were helping me, I said, the goal is how does this map onto this title? And it really did. So
Yeah,
you
beautiful.
you saw some brilliant insight into something that gave it an anchor for the entire book.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, it was you know, it's been years. This has been years in the making. So
Yeah,
it's like,
10 at least. If well,
yeah.
really all more than that. I think close to 17 from the first book.
So when we sat down and you had this thing in your hand, I mean it's like holy moly, it's time to celebrate. So I took that as an inspiration. And after I read the book, I was able to put these lyrics together that I think to me summarize a lot of stuff. Then capture every single thing, but generally speaking has a flavor of raising some eyebrows and striking some nerves. And so I just had a ball with it, and I'm glad you approve and like it.
Yeah, it's evocative. It's has a beat, and what's exciting about it is people younger than me go, "I'd like to hear that. That's kind of good." I'll play a little piece of it, and so it has something I think that speaks to many different age groups.
It does. It does. And I think that was, and AI has been a great tool. I gotta be perfectly honest with you. When this whole AI stuff started to happen, I was like, never, never. You're gonna compromise yourself as a musician. I'm here, I play guitar, I play all kinds of instruments, and I thought I'm never gonna use this tool. In fact, the first song I wrote was called Destruction, D-A-I Struction, because I was just so anti. And then I started to think, okay, well, let me test this thing out. And all of a sudden, these songs that I had put lyrics to like years ago, all of a sudden now I'm able to kind of give them life without having to spend time in the studio and get singers and blah, 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 blah. And at the very least, it gives me the opportunity to give a life to a lyric. And then in the future, if I need to get a live band together, cool, so be it. That's great. But it's been a great learning experience. But
Yeah, because I've known you as so multi-talented over the years, and as a musician, as an artist, as a designer, as a marketing genius, as just a great person helping people, and this was incredible. The first song you played with the men's group we have once a month, and I heard it. I go, how'd you afford all those musicians? And how'd you make it work? I see it kind of like when the DAWs first came out. People go, that's terrible. I'll never use it. And then
Uh,
when they realize, my gosh, I can be a single creator and be able to do things that I couldn't afford or were possible with these tools now. And that's what you've done.
yeah, and you know what, Martin? On the one hand, it's not just about churning stuff out, because one thing I will say is I am not pro having AI generate lyrics for me. That just doesn't do it. To me, that cuts out where's the humanity in your music? And to turn that over to me is like a line I won't cross. When your book inspired me to write the lyrics to Taboo the Better Man, it was all me. It was all Diogenes. and then putting that out and kind of funneling it into AI production tools gave it life, but it was life that I gave birth to. It's not something that was generically generated by some AI filter, because then I think you lose the humanity of it. Huh.
You got the lyrics first. Is that what occurred? And
Yeah, I
then
wrote the
how did
lyrics.
you start deciding the muse? I mean, this could be blues, it could be jazz, it could, you have talent in so many musical areas. What got you to choose the choice of, I get what you call the type of music or
Yeah.
genre? Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
The genre what got me going was I wanted something that was upbeat, contemporary, and kind of fit into a contemporary R&B space, because that gives me a little bit of flexibility. It wasn't hip hop, it wasn't just blues, it was kind of R&B, but contemporary. And so I went for that feel and was able to experiment a little bit and had about, I would say, about 12 variations of this song and kind of funneled it down. Once I got it down to where I thought I really like this, I then exported it, brought it into my digital performer, which is another production tool that I use, and kind of tweaked a little bit there and then mastered it there and released it. And it's on Spotify. So it's like, okay, it's not just AI cranked out, but it's kind of a hybrid, which is the best of both worlds. My goodness. I feel like I have the entire universe of expert composers and all of this at my disposal. And why not use it, right? Use it responsibly and create some good stuff, not just junk.
Oh, so I want to break this down for some musicians on it. One, did you write all the lyrics or did you write most of them and
No, I
then
wrote 100%.
oh, really? So it
100%.
all
Yeah.
came to you. Well, I
It,
just want to say, I'll give a sample, but you got to listen to the song to hear all of them. So I'll take a
okay.
little chunk that you give
Okay, go
me to
ahead.
share in the text below. All right. Okay. So they came first. And then from there, you had to go, what music, what sound, what type of music fits this? Is that it?
Yeah, I wanted to get like what vibe do I want to, and I wanted something that was a little bit more
Edgy.
fast paced. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit edgy and kind of had a little bit of hip hop overtone, but not just hip hop. It was
Mhm.
more melodic. And
Yeah.
so I went with that feel and eliminated a whole bunch of options that were generated, but they really didn't fit. And so kind of honed in on this version, the final version. Yeah.
Yeah, and you opened with kind of a jar because that's why we picked the title. It's a disruptive. The musical, the lyrics, everything are a little what just happened. And
Yeah.
I think
Well, that's
that's
what the
very
book does. The
yeah, it
book is
is.
a
I mean, that's the
disruptor.
design to be a
Yeah,
pattern a pattern interrupt by revealing what I think we've glossed over and don't see anymore. That's to me, it's not there. It's just what's there that has gotten blurred into the background too much.
absolutely, absolutely. And I will say that just for musicians who are like, oh, I'll never use AI, there's a space for a lot of creative things to happen and balance. I think if you have a balance, because you don't want everything to just be completely generated by a machine. But then again, on the human side, this gives you a lot of opportunities and options. One thing I will say that I have seen a lot of crap coming out where anybody now can use this tool. And having said that, there's a lot of really good stuff and a lot of really bad stuff, just like technology all over,
Well, like music. I mean, come
and
on.
music. Yeah,
It's just now the problem is anyone can get charge of it. It's just like print on demand. The good news is anyone can print. The bad news is anyone can print.
that's right. That's right.
Same
It's like
thing.
desktop publishing. Remember when desktop publishing came out?
Yeah.
If you use every single font in your library, now you're a designer? No.
No. No. No, you weren't. So then you took it from there and you brought it over to your other software to
Hmm.
tweak it a little bit, which you're familiar with.
Yes.
And then you put it through a mastering. So people don't know mastering to me is a whole art form in itself.
Hmm. It is because you want to, how much reverb do you have on a piece? You know, and there was actually a piece of the song where I didn't quite like how it was generated, so I spliced it so that it kind of conformed to what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly what spit out, it was adapted to what I wanted to put out.
Hmm. The thing that's impressive to me is the dynamic range of this. Is it generating a pretty, I mean, I don't know, I understand sample rate, but it seems to be a pretty big dynamic range where you can even play with the dynamic. You can either like squash it down a little and open it up. Is that
Yeah, you can add compression, and the dynamics were pretty on point when it came out, you know.
yeah.
The AI software was pretty good at handling that, and so from that standpoint, I didn't have to mess with the dynamics too much. It was just compositionally, I didn't like a section, so I had to replace it, and that was okay.
And then you chose to pick the title that diffused into a woman's face. You got to talk about that because,
Well, you know,
or should
hey,
they just listen to the song and figure it out? Either way is good.
yeah, well, you know, beat him down. I mean, it's just it's something that culturally, what's going on culturally, you know, men are, well, I'm not say all men, but many men
Hmm.
are kind of been beat up because they're not feminine enough.
Hmm.
And to
Right.
me, that was something that just and all the range of things that you cover in your book, that's the one that popped out at me as far as globally. I think everyone can relate to that because you've met people who are men, but they are womenized men. And, you know, we're all different, granted, okay, we're all different, but it's like you're penalized as just a regular guy if you're not feminine enough.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, because really, if we're going to honor diversity, there should be room for everybody. And I love
right.
what my friend Tom Golden says when it comes to gender, the system. Like 80% of us, our core is masculine, and in women, 80% is feminine.
Hmm.
And the idea isn't to say no. What we've done is we've said no to one of the cores
Right.
almost instead of saying why can't we have both. I mean, there's some men that naturally that's their core. I think of good old Walter Carlos that became Wendy Carlos, and I met a musician once that said when Walter walked in the door it felt like a woman came in. It was like
Hmm.
at Wendy's core. But we're
Yeah.
talking about the fact is if you really have commitment to accepting and being open to things, you have to be room for that.
Mhm.
And the cost of not having room to it, the cost to our sons, the cost to women feeling safe. And
Right.
and and then I came up with that metaphor of dance and it's so many things that I just hammered kind of like a laboratory of my own life. And you know that. I mean, I'm the guinea pig here. And then I look out at the world and I go and I talk and I go, well, that matches my experience. So the rawness of it matches the experience. I mean, this is a very I'm exposed book that
Mhm.
I don't know that I was at the age to share that with the world yet when I first started.
Right. Yeah, it's grown as you've grown as a man, as you've grown
Right.
as a man, your experiences has contributed to this book. So it's a full blossom. It's like a bouquet that's really blossomed. And so I just can't commend you enough for putting it together. I think it's actually kind of a life-changing book for many people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm already getting that feedback. I
Yeah.
told you the most touching. I hope you get to meet this young woman at a restaurant I go to. She's a teenager and she was like, it's weird because now I go out with guys and they're more like the girlfriends. And I don't like that. And I want something
Mm,
else. I want out. She's young, she's bright, she wants something. And I said, you need to read my book. She got it and she read it twice. And then
mm,
she wrote a beautiful testimonial. And I said, now you at least has a reference point. You have to work on yourself and you want to look for someone who else does. This isn't a I'm going to blame the other side type book. This is a
mhm.
true to me the essence of being a man is really knowing how to take personal responsibility in a way, but also that there's some payoffs to that
Right.
that I don't think we even talk about.
Yeah, and
The
one of the things I think the book does, which really kind of helped me in crafting the song, was it's like you're giving me permission to be a man, to
yes,
be a man that I want to be, a man that I feel like I should be. So
right.
it's actually very empowering, and I think that will aid in a lot of abuse that's going on,
Mhm.
when where guys just they maybe are insecure about their manhood, so they take it out on their partner, and it's just chronic. And so there's a lot of things that I think can be addressed. more people should read this and internalize it because it applies differently to everybody who reads it.
Yeah, I worked real hard to test the early content on multiple people,
Mhm.
groups other than myself, as much diversity as I could get access to is what I wanted. One of the most touching is someone who was a survivor of rape said, I think that may not have happened if this were in the world. And that just choked me up,
Wow.
that they privately shared that with me, and then they included that this needs to be out there. And what I ask is just get it, read it. If you see value and it speaks to you, let three people know. This is much more than the few dollars I'll make. And just for people who know, if you do your own publishing, very few of us make lots of money on
Right.
on you've written how many books? And
I've written two. I've got the third one in the book in the hopper. But yeah, you're right. If you think you're gonna get rich on writing your book, forget it.
yeah,
You know,
it's
you
a
you
well,
got to
there
let the
are
book write
paths, but it's
you.
a very long path and it's a hard path,
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So, well, this is so delightful, and thank you so much. I'm so touched. I'm excited to share it with people and kind of get their reaction. The most fun is the people younger than me go, could I get a copy of that? I want to listen to it.
And I'm honored that you allowed me to write a song based on your book. It's
Yeah.
quite an honor. So
All right. Tell people about your great music, because your music is much more than music. It's a personal calling. So just give them a
yeah.
little bit about it. I'll make sure I have a link to the website.
Yeah, well, I've created my digital footprint is digital band is called Urban
Hmm.
Psalm, and uh, Taboo The Better Man is in on Spotify and several other platforms, and I don't know if you want to play a little bit of it, or
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
And I started the lyrics with I think one of the key questions that your book answers. I don't know if you got that, picked up on that. And the first line of the lyrics is, "Why are men the way they are?"
Hmm.
Which is
Hmm.
what your book is all about, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And understands what's missing.
Indeed, the plan, a real new man is now a woman. Better man out. Better man out. The better man out.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
else you want to tell us about the starting graphic of it?
Well, the starting graphic was also, AI generated, and it was it was transformative, because the logo, the Taboo logo, uh, kind of went through its shattering, you might say, as we are doing shattering of men's psyche in our culture. So that whole shattered taboo is very, very on point. And so that's what led to that video. And of course, the transformation occurs right into a female, which is a better man is now a woman.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm sure there are people who are going to say, "What the," you know,
Right.
but I'm sure it's
Yeah.
strikes a nerve just like your book has struck a nerve.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that maybe that's not the best path for all of us. Let's say put it that way.
Yeah,
Maybe there's some good quality. Maybe we threw the baby out with the bathwater, and it's costing us with our sons, our relationships,
yeah,
everything. And that's what I'm proposing.
yeah, yeah. Incredible, incredible, Martin. Um, it's out there now, and hopefully, people will get it, change some lives, and we'll see where it leads.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this journey will continue, and my interest now is getting feedback and then creating videos and comments on the feedback. So, as I hear it helping people in one way, I'm going to do that. If I hear someone doesn't understand something, I'll make new videos. For now, I really want to get the loop going, hearing what's missing, what else do you need, what did you like, and use that to help the organic growth of this. And I'm just so excited over the holidays for people who choose to take this book and have a conversation, especially like your grandfather that's still alive, and have a conversation. And even if he disagrees completely, you have something other than the normal whatever families do. Now it's a new level of political rants they get caught in. This gives something else to have a conversation with.
That's right.
I met somebody at a neighborhood event just last night, and she was like, I've been reading what people say about it. I really want to get the book. I go, well, I have a neighborhood copy here. You could borrow it. But she's had several sons, and she just talked about how she thought when she had sons, it would be easy because everything would go their way, and what a profound struggle she had, struggle her sons had. And she thought, wait a second, they're supposed to have everything. Why? Luckily, they've turned out real well, but many will either lash in or lash out because of that. So we need to understand this so we can start improving it, because everyone loses when that happens.
Oh yeah. Yep. Our society, our family structure. I mean, there's just so much at stake. So much, especially now. I mean, we are such a divided country, and there's just all kinds of stuff. There's so much misinformation, so much just political nonsense, and I think this is more about humanity.
Yes. And I've already gotten reviews from people that I know are at opposite ends of spectrum in the political domain. I'm going, okay, that's what I wanted. Because I believe when we get down to core humanity, that we have more in common than we don't.
Absolutely.
But it also takes courage in sharing things that make you vulnerable. That's why I thought I better be a model of this if I want others to do it.
And you're right about that, brother. That takes courage.
Yeah. Well, this was great. I'll put all the links below. Thanks again. And I'm just so tickled. I just love it. I play it on a regular basis. Someone made a song over one of my books. It's just delightful sharing it with everybody. All right. All right.
Great, man.
Take
Thank you
care.
for
We'll
the-
catch up soon. Thank
All right,
you.
brother.